Hello, hello. So, let's see. This is a microphone test. I'm not sure if it's working or not. Let's see. Okay, so the microphone is working as it should be. What we will do today, we'll set up a mission for a pinpoint strike on some ground targets. And we'll try to use some long-range attack missiles without the targeting pod. We'll try to use F-18's radar to acquire the targets and then steer the missile with precision in the last 20 to 10 miles of its trajectory. So this is an older mission that I set up, and we have a few things here and there, and we have here on this airfield we have multiple cargo planes, and we also have some helicopters and some tanks. We will try to target in the first batch one of these planes, and then we'll switch towards the tanks. But first of all, what we have to do, let's see what distance do we have. So we have around 15 nautical miles. It would be better if we would have more. That means that we'll have to move our carrier group further, because we will try to use really long range missiles this time. And around 100 and so miles should be okay. Let's move the carrier group to move towards Batumi. This is our secondary airfield where we will land if we will have trouble with gas. And if we have trouble with gas, we will just move here. And let's put our carrier to here towards Batumi. And at around 27 knots, it's fine. And let's add another waypoint. Let's see if we can make our carrier to dock if we take too much time. So let's just go for satellite to see what we have here. Okay, so it looks like a little bit of a deep water port. Yeah, we have here cruise liner. Let's dock our carrier. Can't. Okay, insufficient depth here as well. Okay, well then I guess we'll leave it just go towards here, and at the waypoint 1 it will stop. So that would mean that we would have to take our we have to delete this. We'll take our aircraft. It's a flyover point for now. Let's just move the plane towards the carrier here and say take off from parking hot, like this. So we have our plane here on a ramp, and we say ramp, but it does nothing, runway, and then we select launch position. But I think if we put parking hot, in reality it should be somewhere over here. Okay, so we have set up that about the plane. Now let's set up some waypoints so we know where to fly. Let's have 2 waypoints. One around 80 miles should be fine. So this would be our launch point for our missiles. And the waypoint 2 is our target, but we will try to not use the waypoint 2 to acquire our missile strike position, just for orientation purposes and to be sure that we are doing the right thing. So let's set up the F-18. So this is an older loadout for close air support, and now we will go for long range. So what we would need, first of all, we need the type of missile, and what I'm thinking of, that in the first stage we'll try to use SLAM ER. This should have pretty long range overall. And next time on the other pylon, should we try a different one or not? That's my question. Let's go for a harpoon. This should have less range. But in the end, the result should still be the same. Okay, good. So, what we will need to steer our missiles in the final approaches, we will need a data link. So, cannot put here such thing. Let's see. Let's try another pylon, like maybe the middle one. Okay, we can put a data link pod here. And what we will do is put a fuel tank here and another fuel tank over here. It's probably will need fuel for these longer missions. Yeah, let's keep the missile on board just in case. And should we? Yeah, let's keep the targeting pod. We'll check if our attack point it's right, and maybe even perfect it with the lightning. But we'll try to not use the lightning pod in the end. So let's fuel up the plane. Yeah. And let's see some waypoints are good. Fuel loads. Okay. And anything else? Let me think. It be client. And nothing more. What we want to check is we want to see the carrier, if it has the TACAN, ICLS, and Link 4. And let's add also to activate ACLS. Like this. Okay. So another thing. Let's see. So here we have secondary airfield. We have here TACAN beacon. It's 71. It's the aircraft carrier, and let's put this to 74. So it's a little bit easier to remember. I don't know if we can put an ICLS here, but it doesn't really matter. So next step, so we have our mission area over here. What is in show? Let's try to see the weather. Let's go for an early morning with some sun. The sun is just rising, like so. And let's put better conditions. Let's say it's warm, so it's like 20 degrees already. And what, like in an ideal situation, we would like clear weather. But let's simulate something a little bit more interesting. So scattered 4 and at 12,000 feet. This should be okay. So what I am thinking of is to put the missiles in low trajectory. So we will have them quite low to the ground. And we should avoid a cloud cover. Okay, here ISO automatic, and let's add some wind. Let's disable the fog, because we don't want that. And let's find something decent. Some clouds and wind. Okay, it's good enough. But what we have to be sure that at 33 feet, we have quite nice wind direction, because in reality, whenever a carrier is recovering the aircraft, it's heading towards the wind. So let's see, I have a trajectory of 106 degrees, and 106 degrees is this one, 0, 6 approximately, and that would mean that we have to go to the other way. Like something like this. Should be okay for landing on the carrier. And this automatic. Okay, so I think we have everything set up. Our little experiment over here. And let's save it. And also let's try to fly it, shall we? Okay, so we have a nice little morning day over here. Let's turn off the labels. One more thing, I have to modify controls. It's a DDC. Okay, because the TDCD press, it has to be in pretty nice position. Let's switch it up with the flap switch. Or designate. No, let's put it inside. Okay, let's put it on this button. And we have to find the flap switch cycle. And let's put it here. Okay. And if we go back, throttle designator, it's okay. We check them manually. See, so flap and TDC. Okay. So let's set up what we can. Alright, so let's set up stuff before we take off. We have to. So, first of all, let's carrier off. Okay. Off. Let's put this in standby. This on on. Maybe we don't need this. Off. EW. Activated. Let's activate these ones. I like to use offset and limit, so we can clearly see our RWR. And then let's wait for this to be on standby. Okay, let's click it. Go to mode semi-automatic. We will not need this anyway, but it's a good practice to set it up at first. Here we will have our flare. And our HMD on. Let's see if it's the HMD or goggles. Okay, it's the HMD. Good. Then let's try to set up the weapons before we take off. So let's go. Yes. And this is the essay page. We'll just press auto and then we have a nice view of our course that we have to follow. Okay, let's keep it in the night setting. So data link on. And let's go to display here and keep everything. Spam ER, I guess, on station on the left. So we want here O, and I said that we want the lift below. This time, so we go below the cloud cover. Maybe we should keep the medium, because after all, we want to have a nice little view of our target area, as we have to steer the missile manually the last phases. Diffuse instantaneous and the surge distance. Let's see if I can find where should I put in the on the UFC. Weapon. Slap. Yeah. Okay, display. We want to have the range displayed on the HSI. Want to put a release type on manual, and if we go to UFC, and I would like to have 20 nautical miles. And now if we go here, now we have a distance of 20. So slam yard is set up for now. Let's go for the normal slam setup. We have to unclick this one. Is it bug? Okay, maybe it was a bug. Then we have N, and now this is the slam, and we have to go for keyboard O, lift on high. For this one, let's put also medium fuse instantaneous. Let's have this one at also surge distance, just for testing purposes. Okay, so after these are kind of set up, boom, let's see here, FCH, CS page here, and let's put the preparation for takeoff. So let's put the bingo fuel of 2000. Should be enough for us to get land somewhere. We run low on fuel, but we have plenty. We should have that issue. Then anti-skid on, and this is carry. Okay. And turn off this thing. This thing. Light is okay. And let's talk to our air crew and say we want a launch. And let's just put ourselves on the launch pad. So nose wheel steering has to be in high gain. So we want to turn pretty sharp. And we want to stop here. And we want to follow the indications of that chap already. So it's telling us to move a little on the right and now move forward. Let's turn off the HUD so we can see him better. It's a little bit messy, but it's gonna do. It's telling us to spread our wings. So wings are spreading, so that's good. And after that, I think we should receive the command of launch. This is how we take off the super carrier. Just follow the instructions of this dude over here. Do whatever he tells you, and you'll be fine. Now we have to move forward. Basically, so a launch bar will there. That's in position, and this guy will tell us soon to lift the launch bar. Okay, now we have to go and see what this dude is doing. It's saying that we have to ramp up our engines. So what I will just pull up the HUD because we'll take off. Here we have a warning that says check trim. We'll put the plane inside of flaps full, and we will trim up the plane so matches the required trim position and weight. Okay, so what we want to check is we want to check the actual controls of the aircraft, if they are working correctly. Check the other part as well. It's good. Now we have to ramp up the engine. Put it in afterburner like this. And then we can say the dude that we want to salute him. Salute the guy and soon we'll be off. Let's see it in external and we will jump in live view after we are taken off. Good. So gear up and flaps auto. And let's head towards our waypoint. So we'll fly inside into the sun. We have our RWR, not the RWR, but the height radar work on. Okay, so let's use it. So we have press the T, you will have auto throttle. It's basically like cruise control. And now let's put 80 kh. It basically keeps our altitude. And let's also couple. And we will fly now towards waypoint 1. Basically now our in autopilot. Let's just be selected, couple, and let's pull up a little bit gently. So we will increase in altitude slowly. And let's couple the autopilot stuff. So what we want to do now is we can switch from night to day mode. So it's already pretty much light outside, and we'll just fly through the clouds. And let's fly around 25 to 30,000 feet. But until then, we'll just set up here to ground. And what we want to do now is to acquire our airfield that we want to target. And we'll do it by the ground radar. Let's see, radar is operational. Let's increase 160 miles. This looks a little bit confusing, but we can observe here that here we have the coastline, and here we have some sort of towns, maybe. I think. Let's see if we go forwards and look ahead. So what we were able to see was this town over here. Maybe the lake. And here we will have our airfield somewhere. So what we can do later is zoom in. First of all, let's not forget about the data link. And we'll put antenna and weapon. Let's add it like this. Okay, let's go to display again, and now we can select our weapon. So the data link feed will come to this weapon over here, which is a longer range attack missile. So we have around 20,000 feet. Let's add a little bit more airspeed. Let's push the throttle forwards like so. Let's hit around 300 knots. We are not hurrying anywhere. Autopilot in parametric altitude hold, so we keep our altitude. So let's go back to the radar. It's 300, and what I usually do, throttle back, press the T button, so nice. And now you can see we have ATC. So let's zoom out, so we have 80 nautical miles. Let's go to 160. Maybe go with the cursor over here. Yeah. And let's try to find the setting of contrast brightness that can suit us. Can't really. So what we will do is we press EXP1. Now we have a little area over here. And that's the area where we will search more in depth. As you can see, for some reason it doesn't allow me to go past. But I think I messed up something. Let's go again. So let's keep our essay page up. Okay, select the target. Okay. Okay, just let's keep this heading. And 40, 80 miles, 160 miles. Let's try again. EXP1. Let's hold down this button. Try to move this. Okay, that missed. 80. So in reality we should have it somewhere over there. Okay. Now we move to 160. Let's try EXP1. Okay. Let's go. EXP1. Doesn't allow me to move more. I don't know, to be honest. As we learn here together. So is the resolution that we are limited? I don't think so. No. Let's see. Oh, the radar input emergency. Maybe we'll have a better picture what it lies ahead. Now we should be around waypoint 1 and past waypoint 1. Our airfield should be around there somewhere. Yep. EXP2, it's even smaller. But this doesn't work as I imagined it to work. Maybe I'm missing something. Try to press buttons, something happens. Same thing. A little bit messy, let's go more. See if our radar is better that way. It would be an ideal situation if we don't go directly towards our target, as then the nose cone, it has a blind spot from what I understood. This is that lake that we saw, and our airfield should be around there. Let's give it another go. Let's try EXP1 here. As you can see, we have a clearer picture. Let's move more to the left. the right. Better understanding of what the heck is happening. Now you see the resolution, it's higher. And we have some sort of base over here. Okay, and let's try now to use EXP1 and see what we can see. Pretty hard to distinguish stuff on radars like this, but we have HMD. We can just look what we are looking at. So we see here some structures, maybe some lines that could look like an airfield. According to our essay page, it's around there. So what we'll do, we'll put EXP2 and maybe EXP3, and as much as you go, these modes should have better resolution. But let's on like EXP1. Let's try to look around there. So they're just lines. We are not looking at the right thing. Let's try to route roads, stuff. That's a good question. What am I looking at? So we have rain, not much over here, not much over here, and we have a river. So we have, this is clearly a lake. Let's see actual concentrations of towns and such. So the essays should be around here somewhere. And as you can see, the closer we are getting, the more stuff we can make out and more clearly. So it's just towards that. The heart rate is higher. So let's try to see what we should look next. The next one. So we are at 20 miles. Up 40 again. We should see something here. Okay, so we have here the river, you can see now clearly. Here, and our airfield should be around between the river and Let's try NEXP 2. Hold DDC, slow it here. And let's see what we can have. So we have a lake. And a river. So as I said, we have a lake somewhere and a river. Let's try that one. Maybe here in this huge concentration we find sure airfield somewhere. Extremely hard to distinguish anything. This mess. Let's try again. Should be right somewhere on it. This point. A lot of stuff let's try to use. So you see, I think this is the actual airfield we were searching for. You see? Here we have an airfield. It's our runways. Okay, so we kind of found out it's not as easy to search for it as before, or as I expected. At longer ranges, so what I will do, I will just restart the mission. I will try to do that again. So, we are back, and I have done some digging. Apparently, the way that we were trying to pass at range, at long range, something miles, it's impossible because we have a resolution at 40 miles. So, we have to switch up the strategy of a pinpoint strike, and we have to use our waypoint. And let's say, tell this the weapon that we want to target something at that waypoint, and at 20 miles the seeker will turn on and we will be able to steer the missile. So let's do the same steps as we've done before. So that would be weapon setup. Right. Stop, slam. We got the O, lift again at medium. Release type. HS, set it up on the HSI, UFC, and distance 20. Weapon 1 setup, certain degree. Or we can set it up completely. Go to SN here and we go out to assay page, and we know that our waypoint 2 is our target point. And if we press weapons designate, now we have the coordinates for that. And it's here. So let's set the other one. Set up the other weapon as well. Normal slam, detailing, slam. Go O, lift on. Let's go for this one on low. So test it. Diffuse instantaneous, and this one will turn on at 10 miles. Yeah. This type manual. Weapons page. Target. Weapons designate. Okay, so weapons I think are set up. And here, keep FCS. Over here, we put our host auto. And resolution of what voltage. Then, good morning. Electronic warfare actually. Here. Dispenser on, these ones on, image and offset, and flare on standby. Next, flaps to full because we will take off soon, and here it's on standby mode, semi-automatic. Okay, you can also specify which type of program you want. If you go to ARM, here you have multiple programs on chef and flare, how many times it does it, and the interval of it. I just keep it like this because we will not need it. So let's put the assay page here, or here. We have nothing at this point. Need it, maybe a HUD. So if the sun will shine upon our actual HUD over here, we can read it over here. Next, HM. Halfway up. And same thing as before, skid on arrow that we have here. And that will be done when we arrive at the catapult. So we talk the ground crew that we want a launch. Nose we're steering too high, and let's move slowly. We just listen to that guy over there, so it asks us to go forward, but we saw that it's not center. Now it's okay. Wings. Launch bar extended. Forward. retracted the launch bar, and then I think this chap should start moving his hands. Okay, so let's check trim. Okay, good enough. Let's switch these ones to daytime. This is good. Let's check flight surfaces again. Good. Yellow part. Good. Let's check our steering lights. Turn them on. Formation, position. And here we have something else. Now let's turn afterburner and salute. Basically the aircraft takes off automatically and you don't have to touch the pitch axis at all. Now what we'll do, same thing as we've done last time, just put our aircraft speed and we will follow that waypoint. Autopilot coupled, and now we are in cruise control. Let's set up air to ground armed, and this time, because we figured out that it doesn't work like we imagined, we'll put up the flare here. We keep the display here. Maybe we should keep the SA page here so we actually know we have a higher situation awareness. Auto throttle, and we are climbing slowly. So we'll have some cloud cover at around 7,000 feet, and it might give us some issues, but should be fine. Let's set up the slam first. It has longer range. So weapon, it's ready. We have a timer. And go to the HSI and see here maximum range of the weapon. And if I zoom in, we can see also the minimum range of the weapon with a small circle. So let's keep this at 40. So we'll keep climbing. Maybe we can add more power. And let's double check data link slam off, slam on, data link on, data link display here. Then you can see that now for this weapon we are already in range. So if we would just release it, it would guide itself to the target. This type of missile that we have here, we can also add intermediary waypoints. So instead of going like straight forward, we can add that you go here, then you go over here, and then you enter, strike the target. That's also a possibility. But for now, let's keep it simple. We have reached 25,000 feet. It's okay for us because at these altitudes we have better gas mileage. So, barometric altitude. We have to set up the data link, so antenna, and then we have weapon, and we have on channel 2. And we want to check, we have station 2 and channel 2 matches. That's good. So that means that we can launch it at any time. We'll launch it over here, and we'll launch them. Just dropped, and it is somewhere over there. And as you can see, it's basically a cruise missile. So what we will do now, we just have to wait for the missile to reach the 20-mile mark, and its seeker will turn on. We launched it quite far away. So what we will do, let's see if we can set up normal slam this time. I don't think we can without interrupting this channel and us losing the actual video feed at the final steering point. So it's on, and what I would like now is to try it out. Let's go to FC, and now we can choose a channel, and see channel 8, it's accepted. Say channel 2, it's switched to 2. Okay, so let's give it a go. Turning off. And what's the question? Yeah, we can slam here, slam over here, and for some reason it doesn't. Question is why. Okay, now we can slam. We have a video feed here. Channel 8, so the weapon that is on station right now. Turning display here, and we will go for setup. Distance 10. Okay, and we are just outside of range. As you can see, we have a timer here that says 2 seconds, 1 second, and now we have in range, so now we can launch our missile. And we have time till target, I think. Slow 10. Let's go to display, let's go to release tag menu, and here we have the target point. We have station 8. And now we just release the missile. Just, you see the aircraft just shook a little, and we should be good to go. UFC, let's switch to channel 2. Okay, so we are prepared for our first missile to give us video feed. Next, what I want to do is to set up the blur. So if we go on this, let's put the bingo fuel, we just really need it because we have a lot of fuel. Have to put, it's safe to put always. And let's switch this to day. Okay, and let's not head right towards the target, but let's put ourselves in an orbit, because what I want to do after we hit the target is to go on a recon flight and visually check our damage that we have done. So for now, that means that we weapons designate, and we should go to see our target over there whenever actually go inside or below clouds. So we have here what we need. Let the TDC cursor over here. I think we have 430 seconds roughly until the seeker turns on for channel 2. And over here, let's put our FCS. Because probably we'll have to trim the aircraft after those 2 missiles have dropped from aircraft, and we go back on manual flight. So let's see. See, we already can see brief glimpses of the airfield, and here we have the planes. Okay, let's try to work with the contrast like this, and now we can clearly see turn on again. Okay, good. So 84 seconds. So let's check on the map. This is actually happening. So our missiles are flying towards here. Don't know why, because waypoint 2 is over there, but we will try to steer them. This is going good. And let's see which weapon is this one exactly. So this is the harpoon. And this is our cruise missile. Okay, very curious how this will go. But until we fly, let's have a look at more stuff. So, and just so this has to be around here because these are warning lights. Chart, instrument panel, off, consoles, off. As we are in daytime. So let's take a look again at our target. So, okay, we have hardened bunkers where the aircrafts are located. There and press the sit down. Now we have okay, so we have video feed. It's really murky and don't know what we are looking exactly at. Oh, it's way out. So what we will do, TDC press, slow it up. Let's try to move it down, left or right, can we? Okay, don't think we can. And that's a bummer. Okay, the missile just went to dump. Going up. Let's try to steer the one. Okay. To the left. I think we see something. Wait. Yeah, that missile went completely nuts. And it crashed. Okay, let's turn to the other missile. Station 8. We put our hopes into that one. And that's our target. So not see it anymore because it's obstructed by the fuel tank and cloud cover. But visually we can see that it's the airfield itself. Good. Let's turn up the HUD brightness. And now we have video. That's what I would have liked to see at the first place. First time, so we can see clearly 3 aircraft. Put the field of view in and see the aircraft. Let's target the middle one. And because that is giving us video feed already, let's try to turn lane so we can also see on blur. Maybe we have to pull down the gain here. And our EDC there. Okay, so now let's move it a little bit up. And okay, target is acquired. And soon it should hit. Let's see. Oh, okay, good. So we damaged and destroyed lot of infantry. And the plane is burning, so that's a good sign. Okay, so this is how we employed the weapons. The first one kind of failed in its role. I expected more, as it should have been a better weapon system. Probably I've done something totally wrong. But we can try to have some gun runs on these planes. Let's give it a go. So we had here, so if we have a target undesignated, right? We can also use our it's called this helmet mounted sight, and we can just move it around here after we press TDC up and say TDC up and then TDC press over here, and we have the target point again. Fine tune our gun run is just pull here, and I blocked it up right. Yep. Target undesignate. Sit down. Move it like so, and then we can move it right here and select the sit down again. So that's a marked target point. Next one, what we'll do, we'll run a gun run. Let's just set up the gun like so. We don't need the data link anymore. CCIP. Let's go on high. And now just have to do a gun attack. What I would like is to do a dive attack. Let's keep our SA high. Zoom it in. So we have our drop tanks on. Ideally, it would be nice if we could drop them. We don't need the flare anymore. Yes. So let's try to check our fuel state. So we see that we have on left and also in right tank on gas. Yes. So left and right inwards, and then we put it on stores. And now if we go and burn out the fuel and the attack, I lost the target point again. I pressed something. Okay. We're close to the airfield anyway, because this is where we go. So, weapon, designate point. Let's start our attack run. You have to be careful because maybe they'll have some ground crews that will fire us. So we are in range, as you can see. Lots of them, and yep, I have pushed flares and stuff, but lots of missiles. Yeah, that went good. What we've learned is that we damaged some aircraft on type of missile pretty badly, I would say, and not destroyed any problem anymore. He had shoulder mounted weapons. Let's not mess with those guys anymore. And yeah, but we haven't done a landing. So let's wait. Let's do also some landings today, because it's always a good idea to practice them. So let's find a mission that has a landing. Setup. Should have some over here. And let's do Marianas. It's a prettier map. But it's not just one landing, but let's do some close air support. Something more fun. Maybe we should try to use rockets. So let's set up this plane for some rocket attacks at island instead of this. Let's put the plane over here. Copy. Let's call this one F-18. Set it up. Instead of cap, we will have ground attack. And let's choose this. And instead of fuel tanks, we will put some rockets. And let's put also some larger rockets. Lots of these ones. And as well that. And let's see what we can put in the middle. Let's put in some CBUs. Just for fun. And some more fuel that we will burn anyway. And instead of these being blue forces, let's try to switch them to red. Okay, delete. Set a few. And we have some trucks. Basically, these are more for some light weapon attacks instead of some hard targets and heavily armored. So they are easier to deal with the current weapon loadout. Okay, so let's choose the right plane. So this one. Okay. And let's push fly button. Throttle will open. And let's make the first cloud layer. And what we will do is just set up the heavier weapons, and we say that we want to fire salvos and CCIP. CCIP is basically calculated impact point, continuously calculated impact point. So we have the little dot and we know where to fire. We will land on the carrier this time, so let's set up 71 X-ray on. Let's set up the HSI. So, and our targets will be on that. Let's turn off. back. And we are unsafe. And we have to be armed. And what the hell? Ah, not here. I pressed gear down. That's bad. Because now we have panels off. And we'll get warnings. And can we find? Yes, we can. So it's gonna be good. Now we'll have this annoying warning all the time. Let me see if I can. Warnings? No? Okay. Just have to bear with it. Warning. No? Oh well. So we see our targets are there. Keep our speed high. And ideally we would also have this setup for semi-automatic mode. And whenever we are close to them, we just push the button and flare and chaff will be dispersed. So let's try. Get attack. Throttle back. And let's attack the containers first. So we are in range. And we put it here and we just... It doesn't... I think... Yeah, we'll just restart it. I fucked it up, I think, there. So let's try again, but not pull down the lever again. So, full speed, let's get altitude, air to ground. And salvo. The other one's also on salvo. And let's set up bombs, if we will use them. Yeah, and now let's set the height that they will first. And let's go for large caliber rockets. So again, let's set up the EW page. And let's keep it in automatic. Let's put it in semi-automatic. Set up the TACAN for the landing. 7 FCAM, 71 enter, on, FCAN click. And we have it. Okay, good. Don't have a HMD because the mission I have set up to have night vision goggles. So originally this was a night mission. Let's put the goggles. We don't need them. Let's dove down. And there we can see the airfield where we have some transport aircraft, some Mustangs, tanker. So, what I've understood, it's a good idea to not go head first, but just to go from a certain angle, like this, for example, and you dive down, so you kind of have visual of your target area at all times. So fly like this, then just pull in. Chaff and flare. As you can see, these are not very accurate rockets because these are more like area targets. Just pull off and you move left, move right, so you're not an easy target for anybody on the ground. Listen, try to always keep your speed up. Here the clouds, we disappeared and we pull in again. This time we'll try to hit trucks. Trucks, and again, chaff, layer before and after, and always move side to side, left to right, up and down. Now let's try to hit one of those ammunition depots. Chaff and flare. Back on the throttle this time. Okay, pretty close. These close ranges, we don't have a lot of time on target. It's kind of annoying, so I'll try to extend a little bit. Come back in again. Kind of lost a little bit in the clouds. Up. Now we have a slower attack run. Check this player. Let's try to put one of those should hit though. See? So these are actually area ones more like instead of precision. We have 20 more rockets and we'll try to hit the other one as well. Stand. I will try to do is to have a low attack. Also, radar altimeter. Just coming close and low, lob, a fast attack, and then get out. Whoa. Oh. Pulled too many G's there. Now it's lighter. So let's go low and we pull up around here. Visually ID the target, turn around, Jeff there, and let's try to put we didn't succeed. Oh well. Okay, let's go and try to land on the carrier. So let's contact carrier and say that we're inbound. So we have 207 BRC, but we will have 197 recovery course as the angled deck. So this is the BRC is the heading, and we have to set minus 10 degrees, and that's the actual course that we will land on. So checklist over here. And over here, let's have the DCS. Okay. So we are inside of 10 miles, so see you at 10. Let's turn around. Yes. This is not a very gracious turnaround, but this will do. So, how we land? So, wanna have radio altimeter on and bypass carrier, and we wanna have 350 knots when we pass over our hook down. Jettison every flare that we have. We put these ones in standby, and let's try. So that's our carrier. And next to it, ideally we have it on our left wing. Okay, so let's go even lower, 800 feet altimeter when we pass above it. And then we should put 10% of our airspeed in G's when we make the turn. And a bit lower, let's up, check the deck. I think it's obstructing our landing. Let's go. I usually like to put some separation, like 1 mile between me and the carrier. It makes life easier. Okay, 1 mile. Let's turn plane and throttle back and pull. So we would like 3 Gs. Meantime, I'm also doing laps and here. So we slow down even better. And let's pull velocity vector its gauge. So up a little bit on speed. Let's finish that one because it's going on the HUD. Let's slow down to landing configuration. Throttle. Okay, so now the pitch is controlled by the throttle movements that we have. So what we want to do is to keep it on the horizon. And let's check hook down flaps. Okay. And now let's turn it. And let's keep it at 30 degrees. And a little bit higher. Like this. Maybe we're turning too soon or not. I don't know, but our altitude is okay. We would like to be 3/4 of a mile and around 410 feet. But this will not be perfect at all. So slowly get in the glide path. And we will have light that will flash at us. Now it's red, that means we are on the left side of the glide path. What we want to do is put that glide path to be an orange. We're also going to put that. Okay, so it's flashing not as high speed, so that means that we are closer and closer like that. And we want to turn it maybe right now. And now we are on glide path, and we are a little bit on the on glide path. And the mid ball, it's a little bit low, we just keep the altitude. And now we slow down, so we actually keep the ball somewhat centered as much as possible. Pull back and touchdown and bolter. Okay, let's give it another go. Let's turn around. Let's go higher. route.
Stay 3.7.
We're now a little bit better. As our positioning, our altitude is still a little high, but it's fine. Let's try to do a proper one this time. So we see the back of the ship and let's turn in. And let's bear it a bit high, so we will try to drop altitude as fast as possible. Okay, kind of good now. Let's drop even more in altitude. Our altitude now it's kind of right, so let's we still extend it a little bit much. Let's try to do the same thing, so line up, people, and angle of attack. That's the way that we wanna keep it up. So line up, good. Little bad, but it will be good. Line up, people, it's nowhere. Okay, we are probably low then. Let's try to keep the height. Have. It's always line up, people, angle up. That's the wait, yeah, low. Okay. Not the throttle, or this was a hard landing, but it's a landing. First wire. Then hold. Press button and get out of the landing area. And brake. That was a messy landing. It's a landing. So that's the thing that counts, I think. We landed. So, as you can see, these streams we will learn together how to fly the airplane and how to employ the weapon systems. We don't do stuff perfectly, but we try to get better every time. Sometimes it's really hard to talk and also fly the weapon and employ their systems. We'll try always to do our best and to learn. Later on we will try to employ the slam PR again, see what we've done wrong, and this time we'll also add a steer waypoint. But until the next stream, have a lovely day, and comment down below what are your thoughts and what I have done wrong, if you know, employing the first weapon system that we tried. So, see ya next time.